next? Well, Anita Mendiratta is a tourism advisor to the UN, author of The Call to Leadership, which looks at how decision makers in the travel industry deal with crisis. Hello, Anita. Lovely to chat to you again. Of course, this is another crisis. We're hearing Ursula von der Leyen now acknowledging it. Do you think it's just a matter of time before they actually suspend this entry-exit system for summer?
Sally, thank you very much for having me back. And that call for suspension has already happened, importantly, not only from the airlines, but also from the Airports Council International and Airlines for Europe as an organization. Because really importantly, and as you said, this is a peak travel time. 30 to 40% of major European destinations get their tourists at exactly this time. EES, which has a role to play, travelers, governments appreciate its value, but we're recognizing the finish date and the completion date for implementation was 100 days ago. It's simply not functioning. So while we have this surge of travel and surge of emotion of people desperate to go on holiday, let's just turn the systems off, go back to manual checks, and then we can, in the fall and in the winter, put the systems back on. And so this is where, from a leadership perspective and crisis leadership, this is where the leaders are recognizing this is not only about operations. This is about the emotional investment that travelers make into their holidays. We need to put that as a priority and hold back on operations for the moment.
Yeah, it's a good point that you're making. There is a very strong emotional feeling there. Passengers getting very angry and understandably upset if they can't get to their much longed for holiday destination. Do you think that this will change tourism behavior if it's not managed very quickly?
In many ways, yes, because I think importantly, when we look at the airports and when we look at the airport lines, it's not only discomfort, it's disappointment and it's dangerous. Because add on top of the European EES delays, add on top of that Mother Nature putting in place heat waves. So when you have people standing for 1 to 4 hours in immigration lines without water bottles and with high emotion, that's just physically dangerous and then emotionally volatile. So people will rethink where they're traveling, but more importantly, it's also when they're traveling. Because these especially iconic destinations, their economies need tourism. Jobs need tourism. So it's about stretching it from saying, do we go to Paris, Madrid, Berlin, other places in July and August? Rather go in May, rather go in September, when temperatures are cooler and when there are less travelers. So there's also eliminating the discomfort of overcrowding, which we know is a major problem now in primarily iconic destinations.
Yeah, it's a good point you're making about these heat waves also having a potential impact on tourism behavior. Thank you so much, Anita Mendiratta, tourism advisor to the UN and author as well.